All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome. Welcome, everyone, to today's session. So we'll begin right now. Good morning, everyone. Please confirm I'm audible enough so we can go ahead.
Yes, you're audible. I can hear you.
All right. All right. Thank you so much. All right. Good morning, everyone, once again. Good morning. Um, on behalf of the entire Klugekopf TechBridge team, I'd like to welcome you to the Klugekopf TechBridge Cohort 3 orientation. And once again, congratulations on making it this far. We are so excited to have each and every one of you joining us from different backgrounds and experiences, whether you're transitioning into tech, looking to build practical digital skills, or exploring new opportunities. You've taken an important step by being here. So today's orientation is designed to prepare you for the exciting journey ahead. Throughout this session, you'll learn more about Klugekopf TechBridge, what to expect during the cohort, hear from one of our alumni, get an overview of our courses, and have the opportunity to ask questions after the sessions. We encourage you to stay engaged throughout the session. Feel free to drop your questions in the Zoom chat as we go along. We'll have a dedicated Q&A session later where we'll answer as many questions as possible. Without further ado, I'd like to invite Jennifer to introduce us to Klugekopf TechBridge and give us an overview of what this community is all about. So Jennifer, over to you.
Thank you, Rejoice. Good morning, everyone. Just give me a moment to share my screen.
All right.
Can everybody see my screen? Is it visible?
Yeah, I can see your screen, Jennifer.
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right. So, welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining in this morning. So, first off, I'd like to congratulate you on behalf of Klugekopf TechBridge. Welcome to Cohort 3. Congratulations on being here. So you didn't join here by mistake, you didn't get here by mistake. You took the time to apply and to complete your application process. And we're very excited to have you join us. So, over the next few minutes, I'd like to introduce you to who we are, why why Klugekopf TechBridge was created, and what this journey means, not just to us, but or to you, but for the future of technology in Africa as a whole. All right. So, who and what is Klugekopf TechBridge? So, before we talk about Klugekopf TechBridge, let's talk about Klugekopf in itself. Klugekopf Global Concept, we as an organization, we are committed to creating opportunities through technology, through education, and through innovation. And we believe that technology should improve lives. But we also believe that technology alone cannot improve lives. People have to be the means by which technology improves life. And that's why, beyond the building ideas and solutions, we're very invested in developing people. And our goal is to equip individuals, everyone that joins this program, with the necessary skills, the confidence, and of course, the opportunities that you will need to succeed and create a successful career in this digital world. And Klugekopf TechBridge is one of the ways that we get on around that mission. Next is why Klugekopf TechBridge. Why do we exist as a community or as a space? So Klugekopf TechBridge was founded by Betty Chuku. She is the CEO and the founder of Klugekopf Global. And this Klugekopf TechBridge was born out of an idea, very simple but very powerful and profound belief that Africa's technology future cannot be built without women, basically. We need women in this space. And across the continent, you see that there are thousands of talented women. They have ideas, they are creative, and they have the determination. But many of them don't know where these opportunities are. They never get the opportunity to enter the technology industry. They don't know where to begin. Some of them don't have, like, they can't afford quality training. Some don't even know, they've never met anybody who works in technology. And others just simply need someone who will believe in them. And that's what Klugekopf TechBridge exists for. We're here, Klugekopf TechBridge was born to change that. We're here to be the bridge. And in fact, you can hear from the name Tech Bridge, it reflects what we hope to achieve here. It represents the bridge between aspiration and achievement. We're here to be the bridge between potential and what is possible, opportunity, and also to close that gender gap that exists in technology today. For a future where women are fully represented and can be innovators and leaders in the technology space. So, what are our mission? What is our mission and vision? So, we're here to empower women with skills. What drives us? Everything that we do here is guided by a clear mission. And our mission is to empower women with the skills that they will need, the knowledge, the opportunity, and everything else that they would need to build successful careers in technology. And our vision goes even further to buttress that point, where because we envision an Africa, a continent where women don't just participate in technology, but they are builders. They are building AI solutions, they are managing projects, they are creating businesses, they are designing products, and even going as far as inspiring the next generation of tech builders. We want a future where women succeed in technology. And when women succeed in technology, impact does not stop there. It doesn't stop with them. They inspire others. Their family is supported. They support their family. She would contribute to her community. She would help build stronger industries. That kind of impact. That's what Klugekopf TechBridge exists to create. So going further, we talk about what makes Klugekopf TechBridge different. It's just more than just learning. So Klugekopf TechBridge is much more than just an online course. You're here to learn valuable technical skills, definitely, but beyond that, you also the, the technical skills that you learn are not is not just enough. It won't be like all of the things that you need. So beyond that, this program is designed to give you practical experience. So we offer you mentorship, we offer you networking opportunities, and of course, there's our internationally recognized certification and also opportunities to apply once you've learned through this project. And there'll be people who will come up to explain to you all of those other parts of it. So we want you to leave this program not just with certificates, but with confidence, with practical experience, and with work that you can showcase to employers wherever in the world that you would be applying to, whether for jobs, for internships, stuff like that. And our goal here is to help you prepare for those opportunities outside of the classroom. More than just learning. So this is where your journey begins. Right now, you're here at the orientation. What is the next step for you? So one of the greatest things that you will get here is not just the knowledge. it's the people you will meet. The person sitting close to you, or the person whose name is appearing just by yours, could be somebody that becomes your future business partner. Maybe somebody in your WhatsApp group becomes your colleague, or maybe a mentor that you meet through this program could be somebody that helps shape your career going forward, years from now. And we as Klugekopf TechBridge, we want to build a community where people they come together to learn, to grow, celebrate one another's success, and just continue supporting each other even long after the cohort ends. What we expect from you. This is where your commitment comes in. This is where your role is. So this program is an opportunity. And like every other opportunity, what you put in is what you will get out of it. It depends largely on how much you contribute as a member of this community. And so we ask you that you participate in this program. We ask that you participate. I apologize. Like every other opportunity, participate in the classes, complete your assignments on time, ask questions whenever you're confused, support your fellow participants, and most importantly, don't give up when things become challenging because you're learning a new course. You're taking this is a new path for many of you, and it can be challenging. It can be stressful. It can be like you will not understand things definitely. And then there's the part of managing, balancing it with your daily life and activities. When it becomes overwhelming, we ask that you keep going. There are going to be people in the communities. There are going to be mentors. There are going to be people who you can reach out to whenever it is that you encounter uh, stress or you encounter difficulties. And we hope that you take the opportunity, that you reach out to them, and that you keep going. Because definitely growth is not going to happen through perfection. You have to be consistent for that to happen. Finally, welcome to Klugekopf TechBridge. So as I conclude, I'd like you to remember one thing. You're not selected because you applied. That's not the only reason. You have potential, and that's one of the things that is the reason why you're here. And over these next few weeks, you will gain knowledge, you will develop new skills, you will meet inspiring people, and hopefully you will discover new possibilities for your own future. And so we ask that you make every class count, make the most of every assignment, every mentor session, every conversation, because the journey doesn't begin after TechBridge. It begins here. This is your start. This is your starting point. Once again, congratulations and welcome to the Klugekopf TechBridge Cohort. We're excited to learn, to grow, and to build with you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for that insightful session. Thank you so much for that insightful introduction to Klugekopf TechBridge and for giving us a better understanding of our mission and what this community stands for. So our next speaker will be Ella. She'll be taking us through what to expect as a cohort 3 learner from the learning structure and expectations to support available throughout the program. So please join me in welcoming Ella. Ella, we can have you now.
Thank you, Rejoice, for welcoming me. Good morning, everyone, and
Morning.
welcome again to the cohort 3 orientation. So, please hold on a while. I can share my screen. Okay. Can we see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Speaking on what we expect from you and Klugekopf TechBridge, this cohort 3. So, just like Jennifer said, the first said she spoke about commitment. So, for you to succeed in the course taken, you need to be committed to the course. You need to give it your all. Understand? So you need to be committed. So I'll just go further to um. So We need you to attend every session. Attending every session, we need you to be present. We need you to we need you to stay engaged. We need you to make the most of every learning opportunity. If you say you've joined, we need you to put in all your best. We need you to be committed, yes, to be dedicated towards learning of the course. We need your presence, your full attention, everything. We need you to be available at all times. Yeah. We also need you to submit assignments, complete and submit all assignments on time, as they are designed to reinforce the knowledge and skills gained during each session. Every task is an opportunity to apply what you have learned, build practical experience, and prepare for real world challenges. Assignments will be given to you. We have the weeks like module one, module two. So it's done for 1 week, the second week, the third week. So after every week teaching, assignments will be given to you. So please, we need you to make sure that you submit your assignments. You not just, you know, go blank on us. We need you to submit your assignments. Make sure that you show up. If your tutors, if by any chance you don't understand anything, maybe you experience some difficulty or maybe challenges along the line, we need you to, reach out to your mentors. We need you to say something on the group. We need you to say something on the group that this is where I'm finding difficulty. Please, how can I progress? We don't need you to stay alone. Remember, there's this thing we put up on our community platform where we say you can grow in tech when you are in a community, when you're with people. So you can't do it on your own. We need you to speak up, always speak up at all times if you're having difficulty, because you will definitely encounter challenges whilst you're trying to get your assignments done. So to avoid that, we need you to speak up so you can be directed. Timely submission demonstrates discipline. We don't need you to, after week one, you're now, carrying over week one's assignment to week two. We don't need you to do that, and it will not be good for you, because submitting on time would also encourage you and help keep you on the track and on the course progress. So timely submission demonstrates discipline, responsibility, and professionalism, qualities that are highly valued in Klugekopf TechBridge, please. So if you're encountering any difficulty, like I said, communicate on the group early rather than waiting until the deadline has passed. Please, this shows resilience. Communicate. That's just what you need. So we need you to, sorry about that. We need you to participate actively. Be an active participant throughout the program. If you need clarification, keep your questions to your don't keep your questions to yourself, please. Ask them in the group or reach out to your course mentor. This was what I said earlier. So participate throughout. Don't be available for week one and you're not available for week two. You're available for week three. Be consistent. Consistency is what you need. Ask questions. Your mentors are always available and happy to guide you. I am a witness of it. When I had my own course, so I had my mentors. I was always asking them questions and they were responsive. They would always be happy. They are very patient people to guide you through. So engage in discussions. We need you to do that. When something is put up on the group, engage in discussions, share your perspectives, and learn from the experiences of others. If you see that maybe your team members has gone ahead of you, maybe one of the participants has done what you're trying to do, we need you to speak up on the group. Remember, the more you participate, the more you learn and grow. Said this before, respect deadlines. Please meet all deadlines to stay on track and maintain consistent progress. Support your peers, yes. So encourage teamwork, collaborate respectfully, and help create a positive learning environment. Welcome once again to Cohort 3, Klugekopf TechBridge. Thank you so much, Rejoice.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ella, for that insightful session. Thank you for taking us through what participants can expect throughout the program. and what we also expect from the participants. I'm sure everyone now has a clearer understanding of the learning journey ahead and the support available to help you succeed. So right next, we'll hear from someone who has experienced the TechBridge journey firsthand. Our next speaker is Stephanie, a Klugekopf TechBridge alumna. She'll be sharing her experience in the program, how it has impacted her journey. She will also introduce us to one of our exciting learning tracks, which is the AI agent course. So please join me in welcoming Stephanie. Stephanie, over to you. Thank you.
Hi everyone, and thank you Rejoice for the introduction. I am Stephanie Masharia from Nairobi, Kenya, and I am an alumna of Klugekopf TechBridge, which I shall henceforth call KTB. It is a pleasure to be here with you today as a KTB alumna and volunteer mentor. Not too long ago, I was sitting exactly where many of you are today, joining KTB with curiosity, excitement, and honestly not knowing exactly what to expect. I thought I was signing up for an AI course. Looking back, now I realize I was beginning a journey that would shape not only my technical skills, but also my confidence, my network, and the opportunities that followed. Today, I'd like to share that journey with you. My hope is that by the end of this presentation, you'll see that KTB can become much more than just a course. Like many of you, I joined KTB because I wanted practical AI skills. I wanted to move beyond reading about artificial intelligence and actually build something. I wanted to understand how these technologies worked and how I could use them to solve real-world problems. At the time, my focus was very simple. Learn the skill, complete the course, earn a certificate. What I didn't know then was that the certificate would become just one small part of the experience. One of the things I appreciated most about KTB is that what we learned by building. Throughout the program, we worked with Python, APIs, LLMs, and AI agents. We weren't simply watching demonstrations. We were creating solutions. Of course, there were moments when things didn't work. There were bugs to fix, concepts to understand, and plenty of moments when I had to stop, research, think, and try again. Every challenge became another opportunity to learn. Looking back, I think the biggest lesson wasn't learning Python or building an AI agent. It was learning to trust myself enough to keep building even when I didn't yet have all the answers. The mindset has stayed with me long after completing the course. Learning by building was exciting, but it also required commitment. The program gave us the flexibility to learn at our own pace while providing clear milestones and submission deadlines. That meant learning to manage my own time and staying consistent throughout the course. For me, that sometimes meant staying up late or even through the night to complete a module or prepare a submission. It meant choosing to study when I could have been doing something else because I had made a commitment to finish what I started. But one of the things that made that journey easier was knowing I wasn't doing it alone. The course forums became places where we asked questions, shared ideas, solved challenges together, and cheered each other on as we reached each milestone. And especially that, cheering each other on helped me develop a real sense of belonging to a learning community. Whenever I got stuck, the course mentors were approachable, responsive, and genuinely invested in helping us succeed. Knowing that support was always within reach gave me the confidence to keep moving forward. Looking back, I realized I wasn't just learning AI. I was also developing discipline, consistency, accountability, collaboration, and an appreciation for the power of learning within a supportive community. Those lessons have continued to serve me well long after completing the program. Successfully completing the program gave me much more than a certificate. Yes, I received my course certificate, but I also received a professionally reviewed CV and a recommendation letter based on my performance. They have become valuable tools as I continue pursuing opportunities beyond the classroom. Those documents reflect more than successful completion of a course. They reflect the effort, consistency, and commitment that went into the journey. And for me, they became the beginning of the next chapter rather than the end of this one. For me, completing the program wasn't the end of the journey. It was the beginning of a new chapter. I chose to stay involved by volunteering and supporting the next cohort of learners as they began their own AI journey. Volunteering gave me the opportunity to continue learning while giving back to a community that had invested so much in me. One thing I've come to appreciate is that the sense of community doesn't end when the course ends. Even today, as volunteers, we continue to encourage one another, celebrate each other's achievements, share ideas, support each other as we continue learning and growing. That spirit of community has become one of the things I value about Klugekopf TechBridge. As I continued volunteering, I found myself becoming involved in activities beyond the technical side of AI. I had opportunities to contribute to partnership outreach, webinar planning, and speaker engagement. Those experiences helped me develop skills beyond coding. They reminded me that building great technology is only part of the journey. Communication, collaboration, leadership, and relationships are just as important. Sometimes the opportunities that come from a program aren't the ones you expect when you first signed up. When I applied to Klugekopf TechBridge, one of the questions on the application form asked whether I would be interested in internship opportunities after completing the program. I answered yes. Following successful completion of the program, Klugekopf TechBridge connected me with an AI internship opportunity, and I am currently progressing through that onboarding process. For me, this reinforced something important. Klugekopf TechBridge doesn't simply teach technical skills. It also creates pathways to professional opportunities for learners who demonstrate commitment, curiosity, and readiness to grow. As I look back, I realize the biggest lessons weren't only technical. KTB has continued to teach me the importance of continuous learning, the importance of taking initiative, the importance of collaboration with others, and the importance of seeing projects through to completion. Those lessons have become just as valuable as learning Python or building an AI agent. The project I built during the program is the AI research agent you're seeing here. When I first joined KTB, I honestly didn't imagine that I would be able to build something like this. Today, it is deployed online and available for people to use. The link has been provided in the chat so that you can run it yourself. As you run it, I hope you remember one thing. I didn't begin this program knowing how to build an AI agent. I learned by showing up, staying consistent, asking questions, and continuing to build. That's exactly the same opportunity that is available to each one of you. My journey with Klugekopf TechBridge is much more than completing a course. It became a journey of learning, of discipline, of community, of volunteering, and of opportunities I never imagined when I first applied. Every one of those experiences built on the one before it. Today, I stand before you as an alumna and volunteer mentor, but not very long ago, I was exactly where you are now, curious, excited, and wondering where this journey might lead. My encouragement to you is quite simple. Stay engaged, ask questions, support one another, lean on your mentors, celebrate each other's progress. Most importantly, enjoy the journey, because you never know where it might take you. Now that I've shared my journey, let's turn our attention to yours. I'd like to walk you through what those of you joining the AI Agent Builder course can expect over the coming weeks. As mentioned earlier, I'm also one of the AI Agent Builder course mentors. Let's walk through what you can expect from the AI Agent Builder course. By the end of this session, you have a clearer picture of how the course is structured, what you build, and how to make the most of your learning experience. We begin with a simple question. What is an AI agent? An AI agent is more than just a chatbot. It doesn't simply answer questions. It can reason through problems, gather information, make decisions, use external tools, and complete tasks on behalf of a user. Think of it as an intelligent assistant that doesn't just respond, it acts. Throughout the program, you learn how these agents work, how they interact with different tools, and how to build one yourself. By the end of the program, you have created an AI agent that solves a real problem. Every successful project starts with a strong foundation. The first phase of the program focuses on understanding the technologies behind AI agents. You'll learn to set up your development environment. You'll install Python and the tools you'll need, generate and securely store your API keys, and make sure everything is configured correctly before you begin building AI agents. Don't worry if some of these concepts sound unfamiliar today. The program is designed to build your understanding step by step. The goal isn't to memorize terminology. The goal is to understand enough to confidently begin building. Throughout the program, you work with technologies that are widely used across today's AI ecosystem. You gain practical experience with Python, APIs, LLMs, prompt engineering, AI agents, and deployment tools. Rather than learning these technologies individually, you combine them to create practical working solutions. One of the strengths of this program is that you learn by building. Instead of only watching demonstrations, you work on practical exercises that help you apply what you've learned. You'll experiment, you'll test ideas, you'll debug, and you'll improve. That's completely normal. Building is where learning really happens. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Every developer, regardless of experience, spends time troubleshooting. The important thing is to keep building. By the end of the course, every learner will have built an AI agent. The example you see here is just one possibility. Every project is unique because every learner approaches problems differently. The goal isn't simply to complete an assignment. The goal is to create something you're proud to demonstrate. One of the highlights of the program is your capstone presentation. This is your opportunity to showcase everything you've learned. You'll present your project, explain your development journey, talk about the challenges you encountered, and demonstrate how your AI agent works. It's a celebration of your learning just as much as it is a technical presentation. As you begin this journey, I'd like to leave you with a few suggestions. Build alongside every session. Practice consistently. Ask questions. Your mentors are here to see you succeed. Support one another, and above all, trust the process. Some concepts will come quickly, others may take time. That's perfectly normal. The important thing is to keep learning and keep building. We began by looking at where this program took me. We've now explored the journey you're about to begin. I hope you leave today with excitement about the skills you're going to develop and confidence that with commitment, consistency, and curiosity, you too can build projects you're proud of and create opportunities beyond the classroom. Learn, build, collaborate, trust the process. A few weeks from now, you'll be presenting your own capstone projects and reflecting on how far you've come. I wish you every success. Welcome once again to Klugekopf TechBridge.
All right. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for sharing your journey with us. Hearing your experience as a Klugekopf TechBridge alumna reminds us that with consistency and the right support, anyone can build valuable tech skills. Thank you also for introducing us to the AI agent course and showing us how learners can build practical AI solutions with the right guidance. So just to note, we would encourage participants to ask questions. You can make use of the Zoom chat because there will be a dedicated session to answer our questions. Thank you. So right now we'll turn our attention to another exciting learning track. Our next speaker, Trust, the data analysis course mentor at Klugekopf TechBridge. So today he will introduce to us the data analysis course, the practical skills you will gain, and the opportunities available in this field. Over to you, Trust. Thank you.
Right. Yeah, good morning. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining to this orientation. And I want to say a big congratulations to everyone who have been part of this cohort. So this is a very huge step applying and also being here to witness this orientation. I just want to tell us that whatever is worth doing is worth doing well. So let's just give it all our best on this cohort. So I'll just give us a brief introduction to one of the most exciting courses in this cohort, which is data analysis fundamentals. And as you all know, data is everywhere. Right from time, we have had data from the past. That's what makes our history today, so that people can read it from the generation past because of data. So these are data that we collected from years ago. And in every industry we find ourselves in today, there are a lot of data. We talk about the education industries, the technology industries, and any industry you think of, the medical. So their data, this is what helps us improve and get better in everything we do. So this course now helps us understand how to collect this data, how to organize this data, and how to get useful information with this data so that we can be able to solve problems. So it's not just about collection, it's all about also solving problems with this data we have collected. And on today's agenda, we are going to be looking at why these skills matter, how the 3-week courses work, what's in the 8 modules, tools and capstones project, and how to succeed, and next steps. So this course is divided into 8 modules and it's going to run for a duration of 3 weeks and 1 capstone project, which is a testament to what we have done in the course of this study week. And we are going to look at the structure of this course. Look at the structure of this course, which are the foundations, applying the skills, practice, and capstone. So I'll just talk briefly on foundations. So most times when people take courses, they neglect the foundations. They just look at it as theory and just maybe something minor, and they don't actually spend time on it. But I just want to tell us that the way technology is advancing today, the only thing that makes us stand out there is understanding the foundations, because this is the core of everything we are doing. So if you understand a foundation of anything, when you can see a problem, you can be able to easily identify it because you already understand how it works. You understand the foundations of everything. So another thing we also going to look at is applying the skill. It's not just learning the theory, learning the foundations. You need to also be able to apply this, what we have learned, in solving real world problems. And this is going to lead us to the practice and capstone projects, where we are going to build something that is going to solve problems in your businesses and can also use any data that is out there. So, but this capstone project, we are going to be able to apply every single thing we have learned in the duration of these 3 weeks here. And let us look at the 8 models at glance. So I've already talked briefly on the data analysis fundamentals, which is a very, very important section of this course, helping us to understand the foundation of what we are studying. The foundation is extremely important, and I want us to spend a lot of time on it, do a lot of research when you get to this model. Try to understand every concept, the processes, the proper way to think as a data analyst. And it's going to lead us to the second module, the second section of this course, which is the analytical thinking skills. So as a data analyst, this is a very, very important concept because the way you think will also determine the kind of problem you're going to solve, the kind of results you're going to get. You need to be able to ask the right questions for each problem, for each data you get. So these questions you ask, this proper thinking, which is the analytical thinking, is what's going to help you get proper results for anything you're going to build as a data analyst. Now, we're also going to look at the tools for data analysis. There are various tools out there for data analysis. So just like we have various things you can use to build something, you need to understand what is needed for a particular project. When are you going to use Excel to build this project? When are you going to apply SQL for a particular project? So these are what you need to understand because not knowing the right tool for the right project is also a ground for failure. And in this course, we're also going to cover that. Now, not just about building this, collecting data. Another important section of data analysis is data storytelling and visualization. You need to be able to communicate your data to audience that don't really understand how you did it. Because not everybody is going to be understand everything you're going to do with your tools. So the ability to tell stories with your data is a very important tool that help you stand out in today's world. Another concept I would look at is structured problem solving. The end goal of everything we are building is to solve a problem because solving a problem is what actually every project we are building is going to help us achieve. If you can't solve a problem, I don't think you have actually started doing anything. So we are also going to cover that in this course, how to help you solve problems with what you have learned. You're also going to look at practical skills employers want. So don't just go out there learning a lot of things because there are a lot of materials out there, and we are going to streamline this course in data. We are going to give you what is needed into this world to stand out as a data analyst. And that's what we are going to look at is the integrated practice lab and the capstone project. We have already talked about it. At the end of the day, you need to be something that you can showcase out there that this is what you have done, this is the project you have done in this course. And I hope we make the best use of this capstone project. Let us not just build something that is minimum. You have to expand your knowledge, do something that is very, very stressful so that tomorrow when you are given any challenge at all, you can be able to overcome them. So we're also going to look at the tools in your capstone project. So what tools are we going to cover in this course? I've talked about Excel briefly and Google Sheets. So a lot of people cover us with this tool. I think it's now Microsoft Office, and we use it mostly in our day-to-day activities. But there are lots more that this Excel do that we might not really understand right now until you start the course. So we have a lot of functions in data analysis that you can run on your Excel sheet. We have the sum functions, the count functions, the count blank functions. We also have the conditionals, the ifs, and the else statement. So this helps you write conditions in your Excel sheet. So there are different ways to actually do data analysis. So that's a point you need to compare two data. You need to compare two data and bring that result from there. That's where you're going to apply your conditions. There's a point where you need to sum. There's a point where you need to count the blank sheet that are there. So on the section of Excel and Google Sheets, that's where we are going to cover this concept. So on the SQL part, we're also going to talk about how to communicate with database using the SQL. So like when you have, for example, you are building a project or a backend project, for example, you need data and all that. So this SQL helps you communicate to be able to clean data for use and for maybe consumers or customers. You saw the Python and the pandas. This is more like using Excel inside Python. So in the course also, they're going to cover all this. Then when I talked about the data visualization, telling stories with data, this is where the Power BI and Local Studio comes in. So these tools are very, very important because they help you tell stories with data using your charts and other important tools that are inside the Power BI. And in this course, we're also going to cover it, telling you how we set this up and everything. And also very importantly, we are not going to fight AI because it's going rapidly everywhere in the industries today. So we are going to rather use it in a way that it will help us become better in what we do as data analysts. So we're also going to teach you how to use AI assistants as a data analyst today. And on your capstone project, we already talked about it. And there are different ways you're going to get data for your project, your capstone project. So if you own a business, for example, you have let's just say you have a store where you get goods and services. So I think there is a place, if you have a website for your businesses, so there's a place that is you record all your data and all that. You can also use this data set from there to do your capstone project. If you don't have a business, you can also use a friend business to also do your capstone project. And out there also, you can also see thousands and thousands of public data sets you can use for your capstone project. So there is no excuse that you don't have access to a data set. And you also have the simulated data. You can generate data on your own for your capstone project also. And we're also going to move to the next concept, which is very, very important. How to succeed in this course. So you have, I think one of my colleagues has talked about it. You need to do every exercise, not just procrastinating. I think every section, every module comes with its own exercises. So you need to spend time on it, try to understand everything, not just doing it with AI and not understanding what you are doing. You need to understand it in depth because at this point in your career, it's very, very important to understand what you are doing, not just doing with AI because you're also going to meet interviews tomorrow. You're going to share your projects, to explain what you're going to do. You also will technical interviews, and you also need to understand what you're doing. You can't just come and use AI. So that's why at this point in your career, you need to do things on your own. Learn the foundations, learn the fundamentals, because it's going to be of a great help to you tomorrow. So we're also going to expect messy data. So at the point in your career as a data analyst or as you join in this course, you are going to be faced with a lot of data. Like I was talking about some data in this slide. You can use your business, your public data set, but let me just use public data set for example. So once you get your example, you go to your Google and search for any medical data sets online. Once you get the data, you see that they're very, very scattered and there are thousands and thousands of them. So at this point in time, you get overwhelmed looking at the data entirely. So what do? You need to have the expectation that you are going to expect to see that. I think that's the first way for you to not give up or not to be overwhelmed. Once you have this expectation now, you need to understand and take everything slowly. So that's why you have the help of your mentors here. You have the help of AI, but you need to know how to use it wisely also, so that you won't miss track of the fundamentals also. So you should expect all these things so that you'll be able to handle it and all that. So we also talk about using AI as co-pilots. We're not fighting AI, like I said. So we need to also know how to integrate this to what we are doing. And also starting the capstone very, very early is also very important because the pressure that comes with at the end of the day, your capstone project. So you'll be overwhelmed and doing a lot of things at the same time. So you end up doing something that is not good to present. So your capstone project is very, very important because at the end of the day, when someone asks you, what have you done at the end of this course? This capstone project is what you can showcase. This is what you can use that I've been able to collect this data. I've been able to clean up this data. I've been able to analyze this data and I've been able to get results from this data. And you also show your visualization, which is your storytelling, that this is what you have deduced from this data I got. So it's very, very important that we start early so we can be able to get all this in our capstone project. So we already started your first step, which is signing up, and we're also going to teach you how to set up these tools, and we start model, which is why we are here to guide you also. So you should feel free to reach out to any of us in the course of this journey, and also encourage your peers and all that. You can reach out to them, know their challenges, and also we're also here to help you. Never you think that you are alone, because personally I've been in this phase, and also I've been guided also. And even today, when I decide to take a new project, I also have people who mentor and guide me also. So you should be able to reach out to your mentors, and because we are always glad to help you. And I wish you all the best as you get started. So remember, whatever is worth doing is worth doing well. So at the end of the day, you should be proud of this decision that you started this course. And I hope to see you at this talk. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, Trust, for that introduction into the data analysis course. I'm sure everyone now has a better understanding of what the course offers and the opportunities that come with building data analysis skills. So far we've explored the AI agent course and the data analysis course. Up next, we'll be looking at the remaining learning tracks available in Klugekopf TechBridge Cohort 3. This includes Web3 social media, tech virtual assistant, certified AI for accountants, digital marketing in tech, and AI for project managers. So to take us through these exciting courses, it is my pleasure to invite our CEO and founder, Betty Chukwu. Please join me in welcoming Betty Chukwu. Betty, over to you.
Thank you very much, Trust and Stephanie, for introducing the Data Analysis Fundamental course and the AI Agent Building courses. You all have already seen the audit your entire CV. We'll provide you with a recommendation letter, mentor guidance, internship recommendation, and also you can stand a chance to intern with us, with our parent company called Klugekopf Global Concepts. And of course, it is not limited to you having relevant job opportunities that fits your career path. However, these benefits need to be earned, and they are earned through completion, discipline, and quality of your work. So that brings me to what we expect from you. What
All right, thank you very much, Betty. Thank you so much, Betty, for that comprehensive overview of the courses available in Klugekopf TechBridge Cohort 3. So we hope that every participant now understands each learning track and are better equipped to choose the one that aligns with your interest and career goals. So right about now, we'll be moving over to the Q&A session. If you have any questions about the courses, the program, or anything we discussed today, kindly drop them in the Zoom chat. We will be happy to answer them. I think I saw a question in the chat. So while we're answering this particular one, please, if you have any questions, because for us to maximize the essence of this session, we encourage that participants ask questions where they are not clear. So there's a question here by Benita, and she says, please, what does the data analytics tutor mean when he said start the capstone project early? Am I to start the project when I am just in module 2? Trust, please, can you give her a response to this? Hello, Trust, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It was
Okay,
lagging.
thank you. Should
So
I
what do you say?
repeat the question? Okay.
Yeah,
So
question, please.
yeah, so Benita is asking, he says, please, what does the data analytics tutor mean when he said start the capstone project early? Am I to start the project when I am just in module 2? So she wants to understand what you meant by start the capstone project early.
All right, so this is just like you have a particular duration of time to complete a course, maybe 3 weeks, and maybe you have, let's just say it's a month, for example, and there are 4 weeks in a month, and maybe you start 3 weeks to study the course, then you have the remaining 1 week. So because you did not complete your 3 weeks course on time, you see that your study time will change to the 1 week you have for your capstone project. And let's just say now you now have like a day or two remaining to complete the capstone project. So what I'm saying about starting on time is you have to be able to take the courses during the 3 weeks, try to complete them, study, do extensive research also. So that once you have the 1 week or 2 weeks for a capstone project, you start immediately, start 2 weeks and be able to complete it on time. Not waiting for maybe 3 days to your submission time to submit. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Trust. Benita, I hope you get okay. All right, thank you. So she gets what he means by start the course early. So another question by Ayokunle Awobayo. Will there also be internship programs available for the data analysis program? Trust, please help us. She's asking,
All right.
okay, all right.
Yeah, there'll be internship opportunities. There'll be internship opportunities. Yeah. So along the line, the CEO is going to communicate that with us. But yeah, there'll be internship opportunities for every course that is here.
All right. Thank you, Trust. Ayokunle, I hope that answers your question. Our CEO will communicate on that better. All right, thank you. Um, is there any other question as regards everything the speakers have said, as regards the program or what or anything that is not clear to us? All right. So I think I have a question on behalf of the participants, which will be directed to Betty. So, from what the speakers have said, they all mentioned a key word, which is consistency. And I believe most of the participants are working professionals, you know. So, when working professionals, like, they have other commitments alongside this program. So, since Klugekopf TechBridge places a strong emphasis on active participation and consistency, what advice would you give to learners on balancing work, personal responsibilities, and the demands of the program while still getting the best out of this experience? Um, Betty, should I
Okay.
go? Okay.
Yeah, I can take that. Okay, thank you so much for the question. So the response to that question is, in the application form, we asked how many hours you will be able to commit to the courses. So by your response, I believe that those are the couple of hours that you chose, the hours that you can actually afford to commit despite your personal commitment or your job. And the reason why we made the course self-paced is so that you can actually have time to commit to other commitments that you have. So when we give a deadline for the course assignments, let's say every Friday, the module is something that you can actually work on 2 days, and then on the third day you ensure that you have your practical exercises done, and then within the time frame of that particular week you submit your practical exercises to us, and then we give you a feedback. So it actually has to do with your timing, how you position your timing. So if the course is very much important to you, you'll fix it in your schedule and make it work. So we are also providing a system where the each course module, the practical exercises, you receive a reminder to get your practical exercises done. You get a reminder of the workshops, but we're trying to ensure that the workshops are being pre-recorded. So we're putting these systems in place because even the internship placements, right? You need to be committed despite your personal commitment or your full-time job. So I hope I answered that question.
All right. Thank you very much, Betty, for that answer. There's another question directed to you, Betty. From Audrey. I have a question. When the founder was talking, she mentioned some other courses. Are we limited to just one course in this cohort, or we can learn more than one?
Okay, so everyone is limited to one course per cohort, but you can apply again to take another course in the next cohort.
Thank you very much. Audrey, I hope that answers your question. You are limited to one course per cohort, so you can apply to another in the next cohort. Thank you very much for that question. There's also a question here. Favor is asking if we are going to get documents of what was taught today. Um, I
Um,
I assume she
yes.
means this session. Okay.
Yeah. So we're trying, we will try so hard to give a recap. And as you see, the session is being recorded. So everyone will get a recap that's it's going to be like in a written format so you can read, and also you get access to the recorded session. So if you don't want to read it, you can listen to it.
All right, thank you very much, Betty. So, Favor, I hope that clarifies your question. There will be a recap after this session at everyone's disposal. Um, I don't know if any other person has a question. You can drop it on the chat, on the Zoom chat. All right, it looks like we've covered everything quite well today, which is wonderful. Um, we have to move ahead. So as we prepare to conclude today's orientation, it is my pleasure to invite our CEO and founder, Betty Chukwu, to share her closing remarks. Please join me in welcoming Betty Chukwu once again. Thank you. Betty.
Thank you, everyone who has contributed to today's orientation, especially our team and mentors for clearly explaining the program and the different course tracks. As we come to an end, I want you to remember that Klugekopf TechBridge is not just another free course. It is an opportunity to learn a practical skill, build something meaningful, and prepare yourself for a real career. The program, of course, is self-paced, but your success will depend on your discipline. Complete your lessons, submit your assignments, respect deadlines, ask questions when you need help, stay active in the community. Most importantly, complete your capstone project. Do not focus only on receiving certificates. Focus on what you will be able to do differently by the end of the program. Your certificate only shows that you have completed the course, but your program shows that you can apply what you learned. We will support you throughout mentorship throughout your entire course. We will give you career guidelines if you need one. We will help in auditing your CV and also giving you access to relevant job opportunities. However, you must take responsibility for your own progress. There may be moments when your course feels very difficult or when your motivation drops. I ask that you do not disappear. Reach out to your mentors, speak to the program team, and keep going. Use this community well. We have a community on WhatsApp. Use it well. The people that you meet here may become future colleagues, may become future collaborators, clients, or business partners. Let's support each other, support one another, but ensure that the work that you submit is genuinely yours and not AI generated. Many people start courses, fewer people finish, and fewer people build something that they can be able to confidently present. Be one of those people who finishes. We are excited to see what you learn. We are excited to receive your capstone projects, your practical exercises. What you build now and how you grew throughout this cohort is dependent on your commitment. Congratulations once again. Welcome to Klugekopf TechBridge. We are leading Africa's digital future, one woman at a time. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Betty. So I see there's a question here by Audrey. I think we can just answer that. She's asking if we are getting a certificate at the end of the training. Um, Audrey, yes, every participant will be getting a certificate, but not just but you have to be dedicated and committed. You must have completed your capstone project to be able to get a certificate. Yeah, so every participant is expected to be actively committed and also um, get their capstone projects to be qualified to get a certificate at the end of the training. So I hope that clarifies your question. Okay. So once again, thank you so much, Betsy, for those inspiring words um, and for sharing your vision for Klugekopf TechBridge. On behalf of the entire Klugekopf TechBridge team, I'd like to sincerely thank all our speakers, for taking the time to share their knowledge, experiences, and insights with us today. To our cohort 3 learners, congratulations once again. We are excited to have you on this journey and can't wait to see all that you will accomplish over the coming weeks. As classes begin, remember that your success depends on your commitment. Attend your sessions, participate actively, complete your assignments, and don't hesitate to ask questions whenever you need support. Please continue to check your email and your course WhatsApp community regularly for important updates, class schedules, and announcements. Once again, thank you for joining us today. We wish you a rewarding learning experience and look forward to celebrating your success at the end of the program. Have a wonderful day, everyone. See you in class and bye for now.